Hi, I'm Andrew, an entrepreneur and a computer science student,
Hi, I'm Raveen, a psychology major student.
and you're now listening to the Ink Thoughts podcast, where we ponder and talk about incongruous thoughts ranging from our daily life to the human mind. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Ink Thoughts podcast, and it's supposed to be a evening recording for this, just to fill up a few of our missed recordings on the past, but something happened, and today it turned out to be Sunday. So, yes, it's been a day, and what happened? Is there anything interesting that happened to you within this 1 day period for you, Vareen?
To be honest, nothing interesting happened.
All right, actually.
You have
anything
something,
happened to
right?
me. Me also, I went to watch Batman.
Yeah.
I went to watch Batman. That's the thing. I went
How
to watch
was it?
Batman. Interesting. I don't know. I guess it depends on what you. I personally will rate it a 6 out of 10, but I guess it depends on how you watch that thing. Yeah, it depends on what is your expectation, and I guess I just have a different expectation. But I don't know. Should I spoil or something? So I just feel like maybe I shouldn't share too much about it. But overall, it's actually. But I almost fell asleep halfway through a movie. One thing is because it's a bit tired. That day, yesterday was a bit tiring, and I think it's a 3-hour movie, so it's actually quite a bit long. So yeah, but other than that, anything interesting? I don't think so, because yeah, it's just been a day. I've spent most of my day working on the code. It worked like 70% now, but like other 70% just isn't working. So yeah, I kind of have to figure it out today. That's like my task today. Yeah. But then because of that, I'm supposed to go to the gym this morning, but because when I wake up, I was working on it, and I just spent 30 minutes working on it. I realized that if I go to the gym now, I wouldn't make it back here for this podcast. So I was like, yeah, might as well just work on my gym later on, and then we'll just record this podcast first. And here we are. So what are we talking about today?
Okay, so today we are talking about family. And to be specific, to define family.
All right, okay, that's an interesting topic. And then, yes, I didn't know. I find it quite interesting that it's me that actually initiated this topic idea that came out with this topic idea. So I'm like, okay, interesting. But yes, would you be kind to start with the start on this topic, Vereen? Define family.
Okay.
Like, yeah, you had just started anyway. I'm not gonna ask you any questions.
Okay, to define family, sometimes I'll say actually it's like the feeling thing.
No. You know I hate that, right?
Yeah, you hate that, I know. But okay, for like normal understanding, it's like the people that we share the same DNA and all. So yeah, that's the family, like your father, mother, your brother, sister, right? So apart from that, sometimes we will say something like they're also like my family, which we refers to our friends or what. So that particular thing, sometimes I feel like it's the feeling which makes us feel connected. Okay, you seems that doesn't understand what I'm saying.
I mean that the thing I really hate about like explaining things via feeling, because obviously it's not something that everyone can comprehend. It's not.
Yeah.
It's I won't. The word feeling is verbal, but then other than that, like people can't just understand what kind of feeling that you're talking about. But for me, I'll definitely say that usually I guess dictionary defined family kind of means like it's whatever relationship that you have that's connected by blood, your blood related relationship, something like that. But then if you were to say that like other form of family, as in like friends or what else, I guess it's just friends. Yeah, those are more like really, really, really close relationship, whereby I'll say like they are more connected by by various kinds of interests. I'll say various kinds of interests, because of all this various kinds of interest exchange that makes you guys intimately close. That's how I would say it. Yeah, instead of the feeling thing that you're saying about, because it's definitely some form of interest exchange between two person that forms either friendship or like, you know, romantic relationship, or even further like really close friends relationship, something like that. So yes, that is how I would say it, you know, like just yeah, like it's either, I don't really like the word blood relationship. What is there a better word for that? I don't know. Bloodline relationship, maybe something like that. But yeah, basically like define. Usually we think that, oh, family is like, it's supposed to be connected by blood, and then yeah, that's like the officially defined definition. But definitely another form of definition would be just interest driven, like interest exchange driven, where you have really high level interest exchange, which forms a very close bond that creates this close friend relationship. Yeah. And then you consider that to be a family.
Okay, so to you, right, how about like relatives?
I think that's definitely blood.
Yeah, I know, but then would you like, because some of the relatives you don't really spend time with them. Maybe 1 year you just see them once. Would you still consider them like family or just like relatives?
I mean, by definition, relative is family because of how you are related, because of your blood, something like that. But if so, that's by definition. But by my personal definition, I would have to exclude a lot of people out of the family thing, because I personally, I do think that I am more of those kind of people that prefers things that are under control, which means I wouldn't just follow definitions out of a book. I wouldn't just say that, oh, you must be my family because we are connected by blood, because that is not under my control. And so I definitely prefer more of the relation, the definition that I kind of created myself, family via high levels of interest exchange. Yeah. And so of course, I guess most people, they do have really at least some form of bonds with their relatives and all that, because I mean, since young, they because of this blood relationship thing, they do come and visit, and then of course there's a conversation exchange. You know about them, you ask about them, so there will be some bond between us. But for me, I see it as I don't know. Of course, there are definitely some which are genuine bonds, so they don't just come just to like, I don't know, strengthen the blood relationship, I kind of want to call it blood form relationship, because it's probably like the hidden rule in within all of our books that we should do that just because we are related by blood. So yeah, I really dislike that, and then I guess many people can realize that. It just happens quite a lot in my family. So for those, I wouldn't consider them as family at all, because to me it's quite obvious that if something happens to me, I wouldn't find them. I mean, yeah, I just, because I don't like this thing whereby we have to be controlled by something that is out of our control. So I don't want myself to be committed to something just because of a pre-written rule in my book, which is like because this is a blood form relationship, that's why you have this commitment to take care of them. Yeah. I mean, of course, how do I say it? It might seem a bit irresponsible because, relative and all that, you should do that. But I think we shouldn't define ourselves that way, that we should do all that just because we should. There's nothing that we should. And we are born this way where we have this, we have consciousness and everything that we actually can think and all this. So we can actively make choices. So we shouldn't just obey by things we should question things. So when this thing comes on to us, we should think, why the hell should we do that? Like, because another thing is that I don't want them to feel that way, that they are obliged to do something for me when I need help or something. Or obviously I'll find something that truly knows about me, like my friend or something. Yeah, something like that.
You mean the culture? How do I say it? A culture? The moral.
I guess it's
defined kind of. You must do this and that because of the culture say you have to.
Yeah. I mean, it's a social pressure thing, like social tradition, cultural tradition, and all that. It's kind of the hidden rule written in our book. I don't think we should obey that because, I mean, it's just like how we can choose our friends, we can choose our family as well. Family isn't defined by the books, defined by who came before you. You can't really choose that. Just like how I think many episodes ago, I talked about, like, would you rather have your child call you father or by your name? But I personally think that I wouldn't care. Like, if they call me by my name, I'm fine with it because I care a lot about. I mean, not that I care a lot, but I just think that, like, all these names are formed by respect, but not given. Not that because today I gave birth to a child, I deserve this father name, because it's something that you have to be earned. Yeah. If they don't think I deserve this, I don't deserve this. So there is, like many things in the world, there is a officially defined definition. Like, father is your father. I don't know how to describe that. like the male parent that you have, maybe something like that gave birth to you. But I just think that we have the choice to decide who is our father, just like who is our family and all this. So many relatives, I wouldn't consider them to do that, because just like I guess I'm more of that kind of person where I don't want you to do things not because of your own intention. Yeah, so I don't like to. I have to be honest. There are many birthdays where, like, I guess it's quite a normal thing in Asia. I don't know, maybe I'm not sure. Maybe around the world as well. But just that when your birthday, of course, your relatives will be coming and all that. So sometimes I do see that they come, and I mean, I don't really feel like they want to come. I don't see them a purpose. I feel like they're forced to come. That's why after that, I rather just have birthdays with just people that I actually care. Or people actually care for me. Like, I don't want you to feel obliged to come just because we have like the same surname or something. I don't think you should do that, because I don't want to feel I don't like to feel the vibe of you not enjoying it. Just like how when I go on holidays and all this, I would prefer people having their own intentions. If you want to come for me to this museum, sure, why not? But I want that to be your intention. You didn't come here just because I'm coming here. Yeah. Because I know what I'm gonna do. I don't want you to come here just so that you can blast through everything and then pull me through it, because I have something I want to do. I don't want you to disturb me, something like that. I guess. I guess I'm a bit self-centered this way, but I just dislike the vibe that people aren't doing this for themselves. They feel like they're doing it for me. I don't need you to do something for me. I know what I want. Yeah, if
Mm-hmm.
you want to do it for what you want. That's my idea. So, I wouldn't. Yeah, after talking so much, I think I spent around 10 minutes. I I wouldn't consider by default. By default, I wouldn't consider relatives as family, uh,
Mm.
as a personal definition. But if we happen to share a high level of interest exchange, which I definitely don't mind, I would I would consider that definitely. I guess this all this relatives thing, like relatives, siblings, all this kind of stuff. They are not born to be your family,
Mm.
but they are born to, how do I say it? It's kind of like when you play a game. Every time you start off with some weapons,
Mm-hmm.
you wouldn't you as you go through a game, you might not find yourself liking all those beginner weapons, even though if you can upgrade them, you find that you might have different preferences.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But it just makes you easier to it's like some a part of your journey. But when you figure out the larger world, it might not be for you. But for people who are lucky, that might be something for you as well, because
Okay.
it's,
Okay. I get it.
like um yeah, it's just someone to kind of help you to start your journey.
Mm-mm.
But whether it will end it will be with you the whole journey, or or like just finish the journey with you, that's for you can't be sure about that.
Mm.
Yeah, so kind of like they are there so that it's a possibility that you can have a high level interest exchange with them, like your siblings, your relatives, and all that. But it's not necessary that you have to have a high interest exchange with them.
Mm.
Yeah, there's just like, kind of like the tutorial, like, oh, so this is how to make friends ish. Like by default, you have a few friends, and then you realize that, oh, okay, so there are more friends out there for you to make, not necessarily that I have to keep myself in this circle. So you can expand beyond that, something like that. Yeah, I
Okay.
think of it this way. Yeah,
Okay. Well, I think I kind of understand what you're
is that
saying.
is that
Mm.
information overload?
No. Okay, so for me, I think I can say something similar to yours, but not like exactly the same. Because I think I'll appreciate the genuine relationship, even if we don't um see each other often. Maybe just
Mm.
but then during the time that we are able to see each other, we are really trying to care, like I really want to know what have you been doing and how are you. And yeah,
Mm.
they are not just doing it because people say you have to. If you
Mm.
don't really want it, and we met we met each other, then okay, we don't need to talk. Just leave it. Yeah.
Mm.
So if let's say for those people that we do have genuine relationship, then I'll consider them family. Just that maybe for me, family has a few level.
Mm.
Mm,
Oh,
Maybe
family
that.
have a few level. Interesting. I thought that's for friendship, isn't it?
Oh well, I think well, like for my parents, my siblings, they are the closest to me. But then let's say relatives, but I still appreciate them and take them as family. But they will not be as close as my parents to me.
Okay. I question your framework. I don't think this is the right framework, because I think what you actually are referring to is that there are there are different levels in relationship in
Mm-hmm.
which your relatives, and so family is, how do I say it? Um, how should I say it? Uh, family is a subset of relationship. Just like how friendship is a subset of relationship, it kind of builds on this multi-tier relationship thing, where you can easily plot where let's say where your father, mother, or your brother stand on this relationship. Let's say there's like 5 tier. You can, top tier is like the highest, the closest level. You can easily put on it. And then, but we always consider, we keep trying to put people which have like blood relationship with as family, and then people without blood relationship as friends. But they actually all coexist on this relationship thing. And then you can see, if you actually plot all of them up here, you can see that, say, some of your friends have the exact same is at the exact same tier as your father or mother, or like your brother and sister or something like that. It's so, I guess, but the reason we use family is because we think that family is a definition that is by default close. I guess mentally we just think that family is supposed to be a very, very close thing. That's why we keep using family as a very, very like to describe really close relationship. But then actually now we realize that no, within family there's still not so close relationship. But then I guess for some reason we just have that idea, so we keep trying to pull friendship into it. But actually everything just exists in a relationship triangle, where if we plot them together, we'll see tiers, and then we'll see that, oh, so some of our parents, our siblings are at the same level as our friends. Would you agree on that?
Yeah. I think I quite like your idea of like having the relationship as a few tiers. Yeah.
It's yeah. So it's I guess in this framework, I guess it's not really about whether we consider our friends as family. That is still a wrong thing. I guess it's just easier to just throw family as people that we have blood relationship with, and then friends as people where we just get to know through through interest exchange or high level interest exchange, not necessarily high level, or just any kind of interest exchange. And then we try to plot it onto this relationship triangle. And then for some reasons we will see that some friends has equivalent levels as some of our family, and then we know that those are just the people that we will have very, very close relationship with. Do you understand?
Yeah. Because suddenly something just come into my mind. It's like I sometimes don't really like the so-called family duty, because you are the daughter or because you are the sister, so you have to do this for me.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe not in
my
my own family case, but then there's a lot happening outside.
But then they're exploiting on the blood thing because of the blood relationship that you have. Yeah. Okay. That's true. I guess we just, that's why we shouldn't look, are we family or are we friends? Instead, we should just look at our relationship triangle and just say that, okay, probably like you are on my tier 1 relationship, tier 1 relationship level. So of course I will do this. But I don't do this because you are my family or you are my best friend. I only do this because you're on my tier 1 relationship list. That's why I would do this to you. Whether you're family or friends, that's just how I differentiate between whether we have blood relationship or not. But that aside, I the main thing I care about is how close we are, how much high level interest exchange we have. If we have high level interest exchange, of course, I will consider you as someone that is on my tier 1 relationship list, and then I would do most things for you, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, amazing. Thanks everyone for listening, and that's it for this. I mean, okay, so I guess I gotta that was my like explanation, but yes, anything that you want to talk about?
I think nothing else.
Nothing else really. Okay, but yeah, like let me just ask you this question. So,
Okay.
how? Let's say, because I kind of brought out a new framework, which is this relationship pyramid relationship triangle pyramid framework where there's few tiers, and then if you can apply to this, apply your own scenario into this framework. I believe initially back in our days, when, let's say, I guess even if when we're in our kindergarten, we'll definitely place, I think, only probably our parents or our siblings on top of the tier 1 list, and then none of our friends would be on the tier 1 list, I believe. But now I assume there are people that would be on the tier 1 list, just as your parents and all that. Not saying that your parents have to be at the tier 1 list, but then most people have their parents on the tier 1 list. But yeah, like how do you think your friend went up all the way to the tier 1 list? Or if there's no friends that are just out in a tier 1 list, maybe like tier 2 list or something.
For now, I'll say I'll place my close friends at tier 2.
Oh my god, I'm just gonna let your friend hear this.
It's okay, I can explain why. Because
okay,
if let's say,
oh my god, that's so anticlimactic.
That's something.
And your friends are so rational; they'll definitely accept your explanation.
If let's say that something happened to my parents and my friends at the same time, of course I'll do it for I'll help my parents first. If it's at the same time and I can't do both at the same time. But you're the same level as my parents.
So this is the reason why you put them onto tier 2. This is the only reason that. So I assume your siblings is on the same level, tier 1 as well.
Yes.
Who would you choose if one of them? Yeah.
You mean
something happened to both of them? Who would you choose?
Good question.
I personally don't think that is the way to. I personally don't think that's a way to just to how to categorize them into tier 2. I don't think so, because that is just a very low level way to classify. I personally think that, because you can't like you personally say that, like, other than that reason, there's no reason why they wouldn't be tier 1. It's just, because I'll choose my parents over them if I want to save someone, if it happens that happened. Just like how how do I say this? Let me think. Okay, just like of course there are definite ranking for universities, like let's say Harvard number 1, MIT number 2, but you can't say that just because but then sometimes they have tiers as well, like let's say like different tiers of university, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and like you can assume that maybe most of the Malaysian university are maybe at tier 2 or tier 3, and then you can't just say that because Mark Zuckerberg prefers MIT. I mean, he studied from Harvard, but then this is just a sample. A sample that they're giving. You can't just say that because Mark Zuckerberg prefer MIT, that's why Harvard doesn't deserve to be in tier 1, right? Because these are like things where it's kind of obvious that Mark Zuckerberg can't really go to 2 universities at the same time, so he has to choose one. Just like how it's quite obvious that you can't split your person into 2 when you're gonna help someone. So I don't think you can kind of just throw your close friends into tier 2 just because I'm not gonna help them if like the same thing happens to them and my parents in tier which are in the tier 1 class. Do you agree with me?
Not fully. Okay. I'll say because okay, it's a bit hard for me to explain like
Is there a feeling?
no. My parents and my siblings are still the closest to me compared to my friends, no matter how close we are.
Okay.
And then
And
and then
the reason behind that?
you cannot so what?
What's the reason behind that? That kind of just so. What is the criteria that kind of the line between tier 1 and tier 2? Because from what you were saying, you're just saying that no, I'll just I'll definitely save my parents, but not my other friends. And yeah, that's why they're in tier 2.
I'll say they are the people that I cared the most.
Okay. Like who? Your parents?
Yeah, my parents and my yeah. And you.
Okay. And then so I'm in tier 1 as well.
Yeah.
Am I? Okay, but I'm really just okay. So you don't like it's the how much you care that kind of splits the tier 1 and tier 2. And your closest friends are still in tier 2.
All my closest friends are in tier 2. Then other friends are other tiers.
Are you doing this just I felt like you have some pressure, you have some social pressure, and you're trying to do this in a socially acceptable way.
No.
That's why you kind of just like throw all your close. I mean, you can pick up a few specific of your close friends and then put them in tier 1, right?
But
would you do that?
But I can't.
That's the thing.
I still don't feel like they are at the same level as my parents
Or siblings.
or you.
Ooh, okay, that's a nice one. But yeah, don't distract me with that word.
I have so many close friends. If I dump everyone in tier 1, I can't.
That's why no. That's why I'm saying like I feel like you're doing this in a like you're trying to do this socially correct. So that's why you think that okay. So I have this close friends. I don't want to kind of like rank. I want to just kind of give them an equal ranking. So all of my close friends are just close friends. They are equally ranked. They are of the same level. That's why if they are in tier 2, they are in tier 2. I can't just pick a few out in tier 1, because if I pick a few out in tier 1, that means there's some difference between them.
I know what you are saying.
I feel like you're doing this.
I know what you are saying, but I can't pick anyone from out of the close friends group. No, yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Really? I know that there are definitely a few that you're closer to, something like that.
Yes, but still
But then still no?
What?
So you just don't care so much about them.
You cannot say this because if you want to compare to my parents, of course not
like okay,
to the same level.
Can you give like more specific examples on what how to differentiate the care between your close friends and your parents, like how to differentiate the care between tier 1 and tier 2? Yeah. I guess I really okay, by this time I actually haven't kind of figured out my fine line between tier 1 and tier 2, but definitely
and then
I
you're
would
forcing me.
I mean I just want to know that okay, let me just explain mine. I definitely it would be a question whether even my family is in tier 1. Tier 1, I guess so. Is that a tier 1.5?
See?
I kind of want a tier 1.5.
Now you know how hard it is to.
No, I mean I'm not trying to throw them into tier. I'm building another tier. I mean, I personally would throw them into another tier, but From I guess I don't know, but oh my god, I kind of feel like I'm sorry about that. But okay. Definitely, there are some close friends which are in tier 1. Okay, I think I'll throw family into tier 1. And then when I talk about tier 2, and I'll say that there are some relatives in tier 2 and some in tier 3. So tier 2 are easily people which I can kind of define in easy. I guess I'll just use it in uh actually no. I will throw I'll throw you, my close friends, a few of my close friends, and my sister into tier 1. And then my parents will go into tier 2. My parents would go into tier 2. Because now we're talking about relationship. And then the core thing in this relationship tier is the interest exchange that you have.
Mm-hmm.
The interest exchange that you have. And when you realize that, because many things you do towards your parents is more for, like, social needs, social pressure and all that. It's not much of your personal interest exchange. That's why I would rank them as tier 2. Just like other relatives. Yeah, it's towards you, my sister, I would say there is more high level interest exchange in that. Just like you and my close friends. Yeah. We are close because of our personal interest exchange, something like that. But the closeness towards your parents isn't exactly because of high level personal exchange. And that is why. Yeah. It's more like a obliged thing to do. I have to be honest with that. So parents, they will fall into tier 2. And then sister and my close friend and you, it will be like in tier 1. Yeah. So yeah. What about yours? What about yours? You still can't figure it out. You're having a hard time, I know. I understand.
Super hard.
Interest exchange. Yeah. I think
feel
it's I mean, okay. Would you mutually should we agree that on this relationship tier thing, we should just use interest exchange? The higher the interest exchange on you guys have, then the higher the tier will be.
I think this is quite an objective way to define it, but I guess everyone might have different interpretation when it comes to the tiers.
But let's say if we use an objective way to compare it, like, because if we were to use subjective ways, like, there's just many, just like if we were to use subjective ways to rank the university, then everyone's QS ranking is definitely different. So if we use an objective way where we just focus solely on the interest exchange, how would you rank? Yeah, personal interest exchange.
Then I guess my tier 1 will only have my parents and you. My brothers will go into the second one.
Your parents are still in tier 1. Interesting. You guys have actually high level interest exchange, but your friends are still in tier 2.
Yes, close friends.
Your close friends are still.
Yeah.
That is very interesting. Okay. I guess I shouldn't question that. Okay, sure. Why not?
I don't
But
I
you
don't
sure?
build an additional tier in between because I move everything down.
But so many things towards your parents are personal interest exchange. Because I have to be honest that many things I do with my parents isn't personal interest exchange. It's socially constructed.
I can't deny that there's still some parts that is social because of the social pressure, but I guess most of it, yes.
And you say that like there's I don't know, I still can't get over this. I don't think because I think that there is a lot more personal interest exchange when compared to like with parents. I mean with friends, with close friends, than with parents. I just can't get over how you can have more personal interest exchange with your parents instead of your friends, instead of your close friends. You get it?
I know what you mean. I'm just trying to
Right.
think about
I
it.
mean, cause like most the fundamental thing is that cause that made me think of this is that I think interest exchange is what builds relationship, and then in order to build a relationship all the way up into close friendship or into tier 1 tier 2, that must be some form of high level interest exchange. Whereas family is different. Family, there's a foundation. There's this blood thing. There's this blood thing that kind of bumps it all up, and then that already, like, by default, let's say there's like five tiers in this relationship thing. There's like 5 tiers in this relationship thing. Friends would start at tier 5, but then I guess most family members would start at least a tier 3, because there's this blood thing which pulls in a lot of socially constructed interest exchange, and then we continue to build all the way up to tier 1, and then of course that then there would be like less effort is required. There's less amount of social personal interest exchange required. That's why I think that it just seems like it takes a lot more effort to get a close friend compared to a close family member. Do you understand? You
Yeah.
get my view, right? Yeah.
I understand, but then you can only measure it using how much effort you need to build a good relationship with that person, right?
No, the thing is, the effort is the interest exchange. You have a lot of interest exchange which builds a close. Okay, let's put it into numeric terms. Let's say you in order to become a close friendship, you have 50 interest exchange, and that 50 interest is something that binds you both together. But then parents, you guys only have like 20 interest exchange, and that makes them really close, just like how close you are with your close friends. That kind of just shows that the how do I say it? The friendship, the friendship, the close friend relationship is a lot more genuine than the family one. Wouldn't you say so? I personally think that's why I chose to put my family. I would throw it down into the second tier. I'll say siblings definitely. There are still some there. Of course, compared to friends, it's still less. How do I say it? Less interest exchange. But then sibling wise, you don't. but when you actually deal with siblings, you don't care so much about the social interest exchange. You just care about more of your personal interest exchange. So it's still higher level, and then yeah, because of their age, which kind of contribute to more personal interest exchange. Yeah.
I understand what you say, but
What
then I don't know why I can't be fully convinced.
You don't know why, so you can't explain why. If you can't
Yes.
explain why, definitely, I just cannot accept your objection on this theory. Is it because of another feeling?
I don't know. Sometimes I feel like
Hmm?
maybe I'm a bit selfish, and
You care more about your parents.
yeah,
Okay.
no matter how
But is that
how much so like interest
is that
exchange that
selfish? Is that selfish? Comes from uh inner within you or socially constructed? I personally think it's socially constructed because I feel like your personality are largely contributed by the society around you. Many things you try to do are always socially correct. Yeah,
maybe
I personally
yes.
do that. Yeah, I believe that because of that. So I think that it's not really it's you just think it's not really that uh you personally are interested in your parents more, where you think that spending time with parents is a lot more better than spending time with your friends. It's more like society thinks that spending time with parents is better. That's why I think I want to do that. For me, I personally think that yours is that. I feel bad for saying that, but yeah, I from what I know about you, I personally think that. But if you want to throw out points to object this, feel free to. Yeah.
uh okay, maybe what you are saying is correct, but I feel like it's too deeply rooted in me, and I can't really differentiate. At least for now, maybe I need some time to think about it. That I can't really differentiate that is it me myself or the like my environment making me doing this.
I'm pretty sure it's your environment. It's not really you. Many things many things because many things I mean there's I guess there's quite a simple way to kind of differentiate whether this one thing is what you actually want and or what socially built around you. If you can barely explain it, it's not you. Because if you can just that is why I want I because I how do I say this? Okay, I kind of forgot what I wanted to say. The reason why I want my child to try all the different things, that because I want him to do to know the why. If he do all kinds of different things, he will know the why. If I tell him to do this, the why would be I want him to do this. And then but then after some time he might think that he was forced to like this, and then he wouldn't know it's actually more like a me thing. It's more like me wanting him to do it instead of him wanting to do it. Yeah. I feel like that's not a really good explanation, but I mainly if something is if it's your own choice to do that thing, it's always you can always think of the why. You can always think of the why. So I personally think that it's socially constructed. I feel bad, like I'm kind of like attacking you, but then I personally think that from what I know you, yeah, that's a way.
Okay.
Just like that is why that I dislike the word feeling, because feeling is just an excuse to explain the why. And usually you use that because you cannot explain it and it's not what you actually want. Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes feeling is it's more like a random thing. Yeah. But then there are many whys connected to everything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so by this point you still have no answers.
Mm.
Alright, sure. I guess do you have anything to add on?
No more.
Alright, I guess well, this has been I don't know whether it's interesting for the audience. I hope it is. I kind of felt bad for like I kind of is attacking Vereen, but then I mean I'm those kind of people that wouldn't take no for an answer from people which I'm close with. If we want to figure out something, I would kind of just like, fight for that answer and then like just figure out why. That's what I do with my close friends as well. Yeah, but then yeah, so I mean, I guess throughout this conversation, I guess defining family isn't the more important thing. We shouldn't define family. Maybe family is defined, but then the thing we should define is the relationship tier thing. We cannot equate friends and family, but we can equate them if we plot them onto this relationship tier list, where
Agree.
some of them are of the same level. But we have to acknowledge that family definitely by default have higher points on this because we have this socially interest exchange in the beginning, whereas friends, we are usually built from ground up. So I personally think that friendship are a lot more valuable. Yeah. I guess how do I say it? Family is safer because they usually have that socially constructed interest exchange, which kind of protects ourselves. But then friendship is a lot more genuine because we are more connected, not by external reasons, not by uncontrollable reason. It's what we chose. That's why I personally think that friendship is not more genuine, and I personally would rank friendship on higher tiers on the relationship list. And yes, anything else you want to say, Vereen?
No, I'm not in the right condition to add on anything else.
All right. I guess then this will be the end of this episode. And of course. Actually, it's like 3 weeks away, but then still, I would just wish Vereen a happy birthday because by the time this episode goes out, it will be Vereen's birthday on that day, which is, I guess it's something to celebrate because it's it clashes right on Vereen's birthday. So yeah, feel free to send in some DMs to Vereen saying happy birthday, and yeah, or even email us if you wanna wish Vereen birthday, or even like just comment on this episode or suggest any topics for us to discuss about. So yes, thanks everyone for listening, and hope to see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.
Thank you and bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the podcast. If you enjoyed, do share with your friends and family and leave us a review on the Apple Podcast. If you are not using an Apple device, you can leave a review on the Apple Podcast website with a link in the show notes. If you have any feedback or thoughts which you hope that we'll discuss in the future, feel free to email them to us at hello@incthoughts.com, or alternatively, you can send us a private message on our Facebook, Instagram or Twitter with the username of incthoughtspod. Thanks again, and see you all next week. Bye bye.